Chosen one, the fact that you are still standing after everything you went through is not normal. Most people would have broken completely under the weight you carried in silence. Most people would have surrendered when the doors stayed closed, when the prayers seemed unanswered, when the loneliness became unbearable. But somehow, you kept going. And that is exactly why this message found you today. This is not just motivation. This is confirmation. Because the pain you survived was never random. The delays were not accidents. The isolation was not rejection. Heaven was preparing someone the world underestimated. Before we continue, comment below, "I did not give up." And if you feel this message deep in your spirit, subscribe to the channel right now, because these messages are meant for the people carrying a real assignment on their life. Chosen one, there is something you need to understand immediately. The reason your journey felt heavier than everyone else's is because your calling carries more weight than most people can imagine. Ordinary pressure creates ordinary people, but extraordinary pressure creates transformed people. And transformation always hurts before it reveals purpose. You kept asking God why things had to become so difficult, why the betrayal happened, why the waiting season lasted so long, why the people you loved disappeared, why you had to fight battles nobody around you seemed to understand. But what if the struggle was not proof that heaven abandoned you? What if the struggle was proof that heaven trusted you enough to refine you? Think about gold. Gold is not valuable because it avoids fire. Gold becomes valuable because it survives fire. And chosen one, the fire you walked through changed your spiritual identity forever. You are not the same person who entered that season. Before the pain, you depended on external validation. Now you move from inner conviction. Before the disappointment, you trusted people too easily. Now you carry discernment. Before the isolation, you feared being alone. Now you understand your own strength. Everything changed. The trial rewired your spirit. And that transformation was necessary because your next season requires a stronger version of you. Most people think breakthrough means escaping hardship. But heaven often uses hardship to create breakthrough inside the person first. Because if your character is weak, your blessing becomes dangerous. That is why heaven allowed pressure to expose everything unstable inside of you. Your impatience was exposed. Your fear was exposed. Your emotional wounds were exposed. Your insecurities were exposed. Not to shame you, to heal you. Because hidden wounds eventually control people. And heaven refused to let your future be controlled by unresolved pain. Chosen one, this is why your season of darkness became so intense. Darkness reveals what light often hides. When distractions disappear, truth surfaces. When people leave, you discover who truly values you. When resources become limited, you discover what actually sustains your spirit. When life becomes uncomfortable, your real identity begins to emerge. And maybe that is exactly why heaven allowed the comfort to disappear for a while. Comfort was keeping you asleep. Pain woke you up. Pain forced you to pray deeper. Pain forced you to think differently. Pain forced you to develop discipline. Pain forced you to discover strength you never knew existed. And now you carry wisdom that comfortable people will never understand. Comment below, "The pain changed me." Chosen one of the hardest truths to accept is this. Sometimes, heaven removes people from your life because they are connected to a version of you that can no longer exist. That friendship ended because your spirit outgrew the environment. That relationship collapsed because your destiny required different alignment. That opportunity disappeared because heaven saw something bigger than what you were asking for. But during the process, none of it made sense. You cried over things heaven was actually protecting you from. You begged for doors to reopen while heaven was quietly building new doors in another direction. And now when you look back, you finally understand. Some losses were actually rescue missions. Chosen one, there are people watching this right now who still feel emotionally exhausted from the battle they survived. You smile, but internally you still feel tired. You function, but part of you still feels wounded. You continue moving forward, but some nights the memories still hurt. And heaven wants you to understand something today. Healing is not weakness. Taking time to rebuild your spirit is not failure. Even warriors need recovery after war. The problem is that many people survived painful seasons physically, but never healed spiritually. They became bitter instead of wiser, closed instead of discerning, cold instead of disciplined. But chosen one, your assignment requires an open heart and a strong spirit at the same time. That balance is rare, because strong people often stop trusting, and kind people often become easy targets. But heaven is teaching you how to become both compassionate and powerful. That is spiritual maturity. You no longer need to prove yourself to people who misunderstand you. You no longer chase validation from people committed to seeing you incorrectly. You finally understand that purpose is more important than approval, and that realization changes everything. Subscribe to the channel if you are entering a season where purpose matters more than people's opinions. Chosen one, let us go deeper. The reason the attack intensified before your breakthrough is because resistance increases whenever transformation is near. Have you noticed how everything became heavier right before things started changing? The confusion increased. The pressure increased. The emotional warfare increased. The temptation to quit became stronger than ever before. That was not coincidence. The enemy attacks hardest when he realizes your mindset is evolving beyond fear. Because once a person truly understands their value, manipulation stops working. And maybe that is why some people suddenly became uncomfortable with your growth. Your confidence exposed their insecurity. Your discipline exposed their excuses. Your healing exposed their dysfunction. So they tried to pull you back into old versions of yourself. But chosen one, you cannot return to what heaven already called you out of. The old mindset no longer fits you. The old habits no longer satisfy you. The old environments drain your spirit now. That discomfort is proof of growth. You are evolving beyond survival. You are stepping into alignment, and alignment requires separation. That is why isolation became part of your process. Heaven needed your attention without distractions. Sometimes God removes noise before revealing direction. And while you thought you were being abandoned, heaven was actually training your spiritual hearing. Now you notice things faster. You sense energy differently. You discern intentions more clearly. That awareness came through suffering. Pain sharpened your perception. Chosen one, here is the truth most people never realize until years later. The breakthrough was never only about receiving something, it was about becoming someone. Anyone can receive temporary blessings, but not everyone can sustain purpose. That is why heaven focused on your identity before your elevation. Because if your inner world remains unstable, success becomes destructive. Many people receive opportunities they are emotionally unprepared for. Then the pressure destroys them. But your trial created endurance. You learned patience in uncertainty. You learned discipline in isolation. You learned faith during silence. Those lessons are priceless. And one day you will realize the process was more valuable than the thing you were originally praying for. Because the process created a new version of you. Chosen one, you survived seasons that should have emotionally buried you. There were moments you secretly felt broken, moments you questioned your worth, moments you wondered if life would ever improve. But every time you almost gave up, something inside you kept pushing forward. That was not luck. That was purpose. Purpose keeps people alive during seasons that logic cannot explain. And your purpose is bigger than personal comfort. Your story carries impact. One day someone will survive because you refuse to quit. One day someone will heal because you shared your testimony. One day someone will believe in themselves because they watched you overcome impossible odds. Never underestimate the importance of your survival. Heaven preserved you for a reason. Comment below. My story has purpose. Chosen one, many people believe spiritual growth feels peaceful all the time, but real growth often feels uncomfortable because growth requires death. The old mindset dies, the old habits die, the old fears die, the old identity dies, and death is never comfortable. But after death comes resurrection. That is why your current season feels strange. Part of you is grieving who you used to be, while another part of you is discovering who you are becoming. Transformation creates tension. You are leaving behind old emotional patterns while stepping into unfamiliar levels of maturity. That transition can feel lonely, because not everyone will understand the new version of you. Some people only liked you when you lacked boundaries. Some people only supported you when you stayed small. Some people only celebrated you when your confidence remained weak. But chosen one, shrinking yourself to make insecure people comfortable is not humility. It is self-betrayal. Heaven did not preserve your life so you could continue living beneath your potential. You were called to evolve. You were called to rise. And rising always disrupts old relationships. That is why your circle changed. You are no longer attracted to shallow conversations. You are no longer comfortable around constant negativity. You are no longer willing to sacrifice your peace for temporary acceptance. Growth changed your standards, and that is a good thing. Chosen one, there is another reason your battle felt so intense. You were fighting generational cycles. Some of you were born into environments filled with fear, dysfunction, emotional instability, addiction, poverty, manipulation, or spiritual confusion. And without realizing it, you became the person chosen to break those patterns. That assignment is not easy, because breaking generational cycles means confronting pain your family normalized. It means becoming different from the environment that raised you. It means choosing healing when dysfunction feels familiar. And people often resist the person who changes the pattern because your transformation forces them to confront their own stagnation. But chosen one, do not stop now. The breakthrough attached to your life is bigger than you realize. Your healing affects future generations. Your discipline affects future generations. Your courage affects future generations. You are rewriting spiritual history within your bloodline. That is sacred work, and heaven sees every silent battle you fought to become better than what tried to break you. Subscribe to the channel if you are committed to becoming the cycle breaker in your family. Chosen one. Perhaps the greatest shift happening in your life right now is this. You are learning to stop chasing and start attracting. In your old season, you chased validation. You chased attention. You chased approval. You chased opportunities. But now your energy is different. Now you focus on alignment instead of desperation. And desperate energy pushes blessings away. But grounded energy attracts the right people naturally, because confidence is magnetic, peace is magnetic, purpose is magnetic. And after everything you survived, your spirit carries a depth that cannot be faked. People feel it when you enter rooms now. Your energy changed because your suffering matured you. Chosen one, do not ignore this next part. Your next season will require discipline more than emotion. Feelings are temporary. Purpose requires consistency. There will be days you feel inspired. There will also be days you feel exhausted. But mature people continue building even when emotions fluctuate. That is the difference between dreamers and builders. Dreamers wait for motivation. Builders move with commitment. And heaven is calling you into builder energy now. You cannot carry your future while remaining emotionally attached to your past. Some memories must be released. Some regrets must be released. Some guilt must be released. Because guilt keeps people mentally trapped in seasons heaven already forgave. Chosen one, stop punishing yourself for who you were before you learned better. Growth means evolution, and evolution requires grace. You are allowed to outgrow old versions of yourself. You are allowed to become wiser. You are allowed to become stronger. You are allowed to become more selective with your energy. That is not arrogance. That is maturity. Comment below. I am evolving. Chosen one, there is something powerful happening beneath the surface of your life right now, even if you cannot fully see it yet. Connections are shifting. Doors are opening quietly. Opportunities are moving into alignment. The delay did not cancel your destiny. It developed your readiness. And readiness matters. Because blessings arriving too early become burdens. That is why heaven focused on your inner transformation first. Now, your spirit can handle what your future requires. And let this encourage you deeply. Everything you survived built spiritual muscle. The betrayal taught discernment. The loneliness taught self-respect. The rejection taught independence. The struggle taught resilience. Nothing was wasted. Even your tears carried purpose. Even your confusion carried lessons. Even your waiting season produced wisdom. One day you will look back and realize the darkest chapter of your life produced the strongest version of yourself. Chosen one. Many people think confidence comes from success, but real confidence comes from survival. When you survive what was meant to destroy you, fear loses power. You stop panicking over temporary setbacks because you already overcame worse. That is why your energy feels different now. You have already endured emotional storms most people could not handle. And because of that, your spirit became stronger than your circumstances. You no longer break as easily. You bend. You adapt. You recover. That resilience is priceless, and heaven will use it in ways you cannot fully imagine yet. Your assignment is expanding. You are moving beyond survival mode. Now heaven is teaching you leadership. Leadership is not about control. It is about responsibility. Real leaders heal before guiding others. Real leaders develop integrity in private. Real leaders remain grounded during success. And your hidden season trained those qualities inside you. Nobody applauded your discipline during isolation. Nobody celebrated your silent growth. Nobody fully understood the emotional battles you fought internally. But heaven saw all of it. Every prayer, every sacrifice, every moment you chose growth instead of destruction. None of it was invisible. Chosen one, let me tell you something directly. The fact that you kept your heart alive after everything you survived is a miracle. Many people become emotionally numb after repeated disappointment. But somehow your spirit still desires purpose. You still desire healing. You still desire growth. That means darkness did not win. And because darkness did not win, your story is still unfolding. Do not quit during the construction phase of your destiny. Skyscrapers take time to build because strong foundations matter, and your foundation is becoming unshakable. That is why heaven allowed certain storms. Weak foundations collapse under pressure, but your future requires stability. Chosen one, this next chapter of your life will demand courage, not because you are weak, but because growth always demands courage. It takes courage to trust again. It takes courage to dream again. It takes courage to believe again after disappointment. But chosen one, you did not survive all of this just to live in fear forever. You survived to rise. You survived to influence. You survived to heal. You survived to lead. And now the season of hiding is ending. Your voice matters now. Your wisdom matters now. Your presence matters now. Do not silence yourself because of people committed to misunderstanding you. The people assigned to your life will recognize your spirit naturally. Chosen one, before this message ends, I want you to remember something forever. Your pain did not disqualify you. Your mistakes did not disqualify you. Your delays did not disqualify you. Everything became part of the preparation. The darkness refined you. The fire strengthened you. The isolation awakened you. And now heaven is calling you forward, not backward. Forward into confidence. Forward into purpose. Forward into alignment. The old version of you already died in the storm. This is your rebirth season. So tonight, place your hand over your heart and say these words slowly. I release fear. I release self-doubt. I release every false belief that tried to keep me small. I accept the transformation. I accept the assignment connected to my life. I survived the fire for a reason. I am no longer who I used to be. I walk forward with courage, wisdom, and purpose. And I trust what heaven prepared me for. Chosen one, your story is not ending. It is finally beginning. If this message spoke directly to your spirit, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment below. My new season starts now. And remember this forever. The battle changed you, but it did not destroy you. The darkness tested you, but it also revealed you. And what heaven revealed through your survival will impact more lives than you can currently imagine.